Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the racing capital of the world and one of the most iconic facilities in all of motorsports. Hello, folks. My name is Rob Howden, the voice of the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. And here this weekend, USF2000 and USF Pro 2000 drivers ready to tackle this fantastic road course with a chance of getting one of the most famous victory lanes in all of racing. Joining me here as we get set to go for USF2000, Thomas Schrag, the driver for Exclusive Autosport, your best qualifying effort of the year. Thomas, P2, what do you think?
Well, I'm super excited. I've got a lot of people here this weekend, R&D Optical, and I've got some great supporters behind me, Team USA Scholarship, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Cincinnati, and Airport Electric Service. So I'm pretty happy to have the Corpay machine up on the front row. Team 1-2 for Exclusive Autosport. I can't be more excited. Evan, he's did a great job, and we've all really just learned from each other this weekend. So I feel like that's what we've been fast for.
Let's talk about that qualifying session early in the morning, 50 degrees, right? Obviously a lot cooler. You had to work to build the heat into the Continental tires. How did the session play out for you over the time?
I started off slow, to be honest, and that's fine. That's fine. I got a good lap in. I believe I'll be P4 for the second race as of now, and the red came out when I put on new tires, so that did hurt us a bit, but I'm looking forward to the race. We
know this track is super racy, obviously, right? Passing down into 1, passing into turn number 7. Let's talk about the start first. That's coming up pretty soon. What are your thoughts going into turn number 1, knowing you got everybody behind you and Evan on the inside?
Try to pin them down a bit and not let anybody come around the outside. So really just be in the middle of the racetrack. I think that's the best line, honestly. I've seen a lot of racing. I raced the runoffs here in 2021, and the middle prevailed about 9 times out of 10. So that's the place I want to be.
As I mentioned, 50 degrees this morning at 7:55 for qualifying. It's going to warm up a little bit by the time we get to go green flag racing. Any changes you think to the car based on the temperature?
I don't think there's many changes we can make. We have a really solid setup under us. I would say, if I get behind someone, I usually pick up understeer, so we have transitioned the car a bit for, a race mode. Just loosening up the car a bit, and then also if we have a green flag run, it'll loosen up with the tires too.
Well, let's cap it off with how much do you need to win right now? Obviously, a good finish brings you closer to the front of the point standings, but are you dying for that first race win?
Yeah, I had my debut at Mid-Ohio, and that was heartbreaking last year to be, top 3, 4 in testing on Thursday. So I feel like even Portland last year, I was fast. I've been fast at every weekend we've been to. I just think we haven't had the results, and I'm really dying to get a win now.
Thomas Schrag from Exclusive Autosport looking for his first full season of racing here, his first win on the series. Not only do we have him here, really as essentially a rookie, we have 3 rookies making their debut here this weekend from USF Juniors. Let's have a chat with all 3 drivers, the trio getting set to go here this weekend at Indy. Over the years, we always see drivers in one level of the USF Pro Championships jump up, normally at Portland, where a driver will kind of test the waters, thinking about the next season. This year, however, we come to the Indy GP, and 3 drivers from USF Juniors are going to be running this weekend in USF2000. One of them joining me right now, G3 Argyros from J. Howard Driver Development. USF Juniors rookie this year, but right into USF2000. Give me the reasoning to try this weekend here.
Well, yes, sir. We are a rookie, one of 3 at the Indy GP. Very early to jump up in the year, but we're thinking about next year. As you mentioned in the last Climb episode, this year is just a learning year. We're trying to learn as much as we can in juniors. Next year in 2000, we're trying to make a real campaign, do well. And even if as a rookie in 2000 we don't win the championship, our goal is to just continue improving. Since we're still super young, we can keep going, keep making progress, and by the time we're in that 16-17 range, we'll be just as good and if not better than all the people.
And of course, you're racing a couple weeks ago at Barber Motorsports Park. It's a big gap into the middle of June, having to wait all the way to VIR, so nice to get back in the seat just a couple weeks after Barber.
Exactly, and then another big part of the USF2000 is that there's a different driving style. You get to learn and adapt to being able to drive different cars. That helps in conditions where the track might not be as good, where you might be struggling for grip. So then when you go back to the junior, it feels a lot slower, a lot easier to drive.
I have to believe that being able to run here at Indianapolis, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that was kind of the part of the draw as well.
Absolutely. This is the world's most famous racing capital of the world. It's incredible. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be racing USF2000.
Always great to see the drivers work their way up. We are a development program, and it's all about making the move all the way up to the USF Pro Championships, maybe even to Indy next after that. G3 getting started early here in USF2000. The other two of the three USF Juniors drivers making their debut here this weekend in USF2000 are here in the exclusive Autosport pit. We'll start with Giovanni Cabrera, his second year in USF Juniors, but time to make the move up to USF2000 to give a little shot at it. Give me your thoughts on coming here to Indy this weekend.
Yeah, super excited. Trying to learn as much as I can this weekend in the dry and in the wet because it is raining off and on. And I'm just trying to improve as much as I can this weekend to prepare for next year.
Let's talk about testing a little bit. I know that you did the USF Juniors series last year, this year as well. Have you been dabbling in the USF 2000 car, and do you like it better?
Honestly, this is my first time driving the USF 2000 is this weekend, and I do like it better. Yeah, it's more power. The brakes are phenomenal, so you can definitely feel the differences, and I'm just excited to keep learning.
You've been here before at Indianapolis. What are your thoughts on this car here at this racetrack? Do you feel pretty confident here on a Thursday?
Yeah, honestly, we are pretty confident because there is a lot of runoff, so if you do make a mistake, you can just keep going. So, yeah, just going to keep learning, try to get faster every lap, every session, and try to be there for the race.
Adding two more cars to the exclusive Autosport USF2000 program here this weekend. Evan Cooley as well. Very impressive in his USF Juniors debut so far. Only a couple of weekends in the program. You're stepping up as well. Evan, what are your thoughts on running the USF2000 car?
I like it a lot. I mean, the transition from the Juniors car to the 2000 is really seamless. I mean, in the first session, we were quick right away. Only thing we had to really get used to is the brake package. The brakes are a little different, so that took some getting used to, but overall, the transition's been pretty easy.
You obviously made your debut at the Fall Combine here last October. You're going a bit quicker, probably 4 or 5 seconds quicker in the USF2000 car. Do you feel like you've adapted quickly to the differences of the speed around the track?
Yeah, I mean, it feels almost the same. The only thing that really feels different is the braking. I mean, there's definitely more power, but the brakes help. Like, you're braking near the exact same spot as in the Juniors car.
Any major expectations for the weekend? Top 10, will that be enough?
Yeah, top 10 or top 5 would be great, but just looking for experience for next year.
As I said, 3 drivers, G3 Argyros. These 2 drivers here from Exclusive Autosport, Giovanni Cabrera and Evan Cooley, running as rookies here, debuting at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Over the years, we've chased down a lot of dreams, each one leading to the next, all the way to our most electrifying dream yet. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue. Made to inspire the newest generation of dreamers so they can make their dreams reality. The all-new, all-electric Prologue from Honda.
And as we discussed before the break, rookies definitely impressive here in USF 2000 as we get set to start off the weekend's events of the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. My name is Rob Howden, once again, the voice of this program, and great to be here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be rolling our cars out onto the pit lane here momentarily. A little bit of a delay with the Indy Next category wrapping things up. Again, good to see Nolan Siegel, a former USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 driver up top there in the Indy Next. Louis Foster, former USF Pro 2000 champion as well. And Bryce Aaron, P3, actually tested a USF Pro 2000 car yesterday. Got some seat time with VRD Racing. That's paid off. He goes P3. So top 3 drivers have all sampled that equipment. But again, getting set to go here. We're about, I want to say, around 5 minutes away still from the command to fire engines here as we have our drivers ready to roll. 22 strong here in USF 2000, the middle rung of the USF Pro Championships. Of course, drivers coming out of karting, moving their way into the USF Juniors program first, then up to USF 2000, and ultimately USF Pro 2000 before moving into the Indy Next program. So 22 drivers set to go, as I said, and we're going to essentially wait for our cars to get out here onto the grid. We'll be joined by Michael Young, one of the PA voices here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but also joining along beside me here right now, a driver who, number one, will be racing his first time here at the Speedway in the USF Pro 2000 category. Fourth-generation racer, the grandson of noted Indianapolis driver Mark Dismore. It is Logan Adams joining me right now. Logan, thanks for joining me here in the booth.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, you grew up, of course, out at your family's karting track at Newcastle Motorsports Park. So many great drivers have come from there. You know Joseph Newgarden from there. Connor Daly spent a lot of time there. So what does it mean to be racing here at IMS this weekend?
Yeah, it's an honor for sure. It's everybody's dream that comes through that track. So it's definitely one of the lucky ones to be out here and doing it.
And you were quick. That was a great thing. You had a bit of some mechanical issues yesterday, but in qualifying earlier today, really got to it. I mentioned in that session where you're really focusing on experience this year, getting as much track time as you can. But it's always nice when that experience comes with a decent result. Top 10 start for you this afternoon.
Yeah, we plan on doing 2 years in the pro class. So this one's all about learning as a driver and as a team. So that's exactly what we did that session. And we had a little bit of a rough day yesterday, like you said, but we bounced back well and qualified in ninth. So excited for race one.
It's a family team, Comet Kart Sales, the longtime karting company, the shop out in Greenfield, Indiana, started by his great-grandfather, Emerson Dismore, and the Dismore name still hugely supportive and a big player in North American karting for sure. Logan, of course, as we said, following in the footsteps of both his grandfather and his uncle, Mark Dismore Jr. Cars rolling out onto the track right now. We'll bring them back in here into pit lane, and we'll give an opportunity to have a look at the 22 cars that are set to go here right now. As I said, still about a couple of minutes away from the command. Drivers, as you see working around. Stickers still on those Continental tires. Continental joining the program here for 2024 for a long-term contract. Excited to be able to work with Continental, no doubt about that. If you're looking for premium performance during the month of May, receive a Visa prepaid card by mail with the purchase of 4 Continental Tire Extreme Contact Sport 02 tires, a dynamic summer high-performance tire for passenger cars, ideal for both the street and track. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ContinentalTire.com for full details. Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. And one thing new for the 2024 season as well is you'll see that beautiful car that is pacing our field. It's the new Honda Civic Type R pace car, the most powerful Honda production vehicle ever sold in the U.S. The turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing an incredible 315 horsepower. The smooth and precise 6-speed manual transmission features a revised rev match system helping to maintain stability on corner entry, and a limited slip differential puts the engine's power to the pavement effectively. The Civic Type R leverages Honda's racetrack-proven engineering to deliver extreme performance and passion both on the road and on the racetrack. So again, they'll hustle that car around to bring our drivers back over here to pit lane so we can get things underway. 22 strong set to go here in USF2000. The event will be the 6th round of 18 here in 2024. And drivers getting ready to tackle this 2.439-mile, 14-turn road course. There's the beautiful and iconic pagoda in the background. We will take the opportunity to say hello to those of you who are tuning in from around the country and, of course, around the world as well with our international field here in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. Those of you tuning in on the YouTube channel for the USF Pro Championships, or ideally you've downloaded the app as well, so wherever you are, you won't miss a session. Live timing, of course, all the live streaming. The episodes of the Climb documentary, which we are into our 2nd season on that popular series that we put together, and of course my USF Pro Insider podcast on there as well. Drivers are going to work their way onto pit lane, get them down here, then we'll get things underway. Once they do come to a stop, we'll give you a look at the 22 cars. Let's come back to Logan Adams. Logan, you've started a couple races already. You went to St. Petersburg. That was a tough one, of course, at St. Pete, but you brought it home. You finished all the races. You went to NOLA. What's it going to be like for the first time coming across the yard of bricks to having a green flag here in Indianapolis?
Nerve-wracking, if I describe it in one word. I want to take advantage of every situation I'm in, and this is a big situation. So there's a lot to take advantage of, and just want to make sure I'm on top of my game, and yeah, make the most of it.
Do you put the emotion of it away? I can know you answer my question with 100%. This is what I'm doing race-wise. But there's the emotion of coming down the straightaway with the grandstands, the yard of bricks. Do you just put that away when you put the helmet on, put the visor down?
Yeah, you do your best to focus on what's happening in front of you and not every other aspect that's happening. That you try to notice that when you're off the track. So yeah, you wanna be focused on the race and not what's happening around you.
That's it. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's part of the game for all the drivers. Our cars, as you can see, coming down the front straightaway. Now, let's get a chance to have a look at the grid, as I know we're going to be going to the command here once we get things shut down. Giovanni Cabrera going to start at the tail of the field with Exclusive Autosport, the number 93, the Florida driver, starting in 22nd, alongside the Californian G3 Argyros for J. Howard Driver Development. Both Argyros and Cabrera running in the USF Juniors program, part of the 3 drivers jumping up to make their debut here this weekend at Indianapolis. Row 10 will have Carson Etter on the outside in the number 57 for DC Autosport, and Brady Golan on the inside for D-Force Racing in the number 18, the Texan rookie, starting 19th. Row number 9 will have Tanner DeFabis for J. Howard Driver Development in the number 9, and Ayrton Hauk for DC Autosport in the number 58. Both those drivers from the Indianapolis area. Big weekend for both Hauk and DeFabis. Row number 8, Xavier Kokai in the number 19, starting 16th alongside VRD, with the VRD Racing number 19, pardon me. And then it's D-Force Racing's Maxwell Jameson starting 15th. Row 7 will have Lucas Facuri, the Brazilian for D-Force Racing, 14th outside row 7. Inside, his teammate Quinn Armstrong out of Australia. A couple of top 10 finishes, in fact, 5 top 10 finishes so far this season for Quinn Armstrong. Very impressive run for him. Moving now to row number 6, Michael Costello for J. Howard Driver Development in the number 8, starting on the outside. Inside, your USF Juniors champion from last year, Nicholas Giaffoni. Into the top 10 right now. On the outside, just 14 years of age, Hudson Schwartz for Pabst Racing in the number 22. Very impressive. He'll start in the 10th position, starting 9th. Point leader coming in, Max Garcia in the number 24 for Pabst Racing. Going to row number 4 on the outside, Sam Corey in the 23 for Pabst Racing, a winner on the season already at NOLA. Inside, University of Indiana student Joey Brienz out of Colorado for Exclusive Autosport in the number 91. We'll go now to row number 3 on the outside, Evagoras Papasavas for J. Howard Driver Development, second in the points, 5 straight podiums for Papasavas. He'll start alongside winner from NOLA, Nico Christodoulou, in the number 2 for VRD Racing. We'll go down to row number 2. Elliot Cox on the outside, the Indianapolis, Indiana driver for Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development, starting 4th in the 67. Alongside him, Max Taylor for VRD Racing in the number 3. 22 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. It's all Exclusive Autosport. A front row lockout, Thomas Schrag in the number 92 from Ohio, starting on the outside. And the rookie driver, first start ever, Evan Cooley from Illinois for Exclusive Autosport, starting on the front row. Time to fire things up here, folks. And joining me now up here in Victory Lane to give us the command to fire engines, the technical director for Elite Engines, Logan Knapp.
On behalf of everyone at Elite Engines, drivers, start your engines.
And that is one I like, because Logan Knapp had his hand inside every one of the engines here. Elite Engines building all the power plants for USF Juniors, USF2000, and of course USF Pro 2000 as well. Logan Knapp, his dad Steve Knapp, the 1998 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year. Also the cousin Mike Knapp in there as well. It's a family affair powering all these engines. Michael Young back with us here again. Michael, we've called a lot of USF2000 races together. There's Elliot Cox, a big one for him, the drive planning, number 67. This is a race he wants to do well at.
Well, we talked about he not only with Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing and of course Andy O'Gara, Sarah Fisher, and that whole organization. That's a tight-knit bunch. That is truly a family affair, and the love of racing continues with that family. And Elliot came in last year, and it was a big learning curve for him. And for him, he was mired in the back of the qualifying order for the longest time. And for him to shoot to P4, great qualifying run for him. And to your point, he has matured to the point where he doesn't push when he doesn't have to. Will he keep that patience, because it's easy to get the red mist coming into turn 1 here at Indy.
You mentioned patience. We'll get to that, because let's have a look at my keys to the race right now for this event here as we get set to roll out with Continental Tire Grand Prix of Indianapolis. I'll start with lap 1 survival, Michael. Turn 1, the widest opening corner on the circuit. You got to get through cleanly through the opening complex 1, 2, 3 if you have any chance to get into the podium. And of course the run through the 5-6 chicane also presents a lot of issues. We've seen a lot of drivers cutting the course there and getting penalized. Be patient, my second one, Michael. Over the course of the green flag runs here at IMS, the field obviously it will stretch out quite a bit. If you're patient, you don't overdrive the car, you're going to solidify your position early on. That said, full course cautions below everything wide open, as we know. Restarts open the door for everyone but the leader, with IMS having the longest run down to turn 1 of any track of the schedule. Oftentimes the leader at the restart is kind of a sit and duck. Last but not least, braking bad, because the front straight and, of course, Holman Boulevard, two of the longest straights of the year, as I had said, they both lead into hard braking 90-degree corners. It's hard to miss a braking point. You could lock up. If you do that, you end up in the grass. Brake deep, but not too deep, because that would be bad, as we said. Let's have a look quickly at this track as we get set to roll here. Again, 14 corners, big long run down the straightaway. Turn 1 so crucial, as I had said. The 2-3-4 complex leading back into that 5-6 chicane. You got to get through there cleanly for the long run down Holman Boulevard into turn number 7. Hard braking. You got to get through there good, because if you blow 7, you're going to miss 8, 9, and 10. Crucial part of the racetrack. Back up through 11, 12, and of course the final corners where they are right now. 12, 13. Power on early, and 14 leads you all the way down into turn number 1. Field now set and getting ready to go. Evan Cooley, the rookie driver, his first ever USF2000 start, and he'll do so from P1. Alongside him, his teammate Thomas Schrag. If you want excitement, expect 4, 5, maybe 6 wide as they come down. Field set, couple drivers in contact further back, and we already have contact. No start as there was contact further back. Couple of drivers stacking things up. One of the D-Force cars from further back went around. There was a couple at the back. That might have been Brady Golan. I think he was the only driver further back, but Quinn Armstrong, Lucas Facuri, and Maxwell Jameson were all 13th, 14th, and 15th, Michael. People just getting caught up a bit there. Indeed, that was the number 10 of Lucas Facuri, the Brazilian who went around. Yeah, I'm being told potentially the number 19, Xavier Kokai, lost his front wing as well. So let's have another look at this, Michael, and have a look at this as well. We got Logan Adams here. He's the pro. One driver checking up, pulls to the outside. Facuri got onto it. What do you think about that? He kind of got off it. Kind of a chain reaction, Logan.
Yeah, that's just a panic from everybody. It's first guy hit the brakes to slow everybody up, and the back guys got the bad end of it.
Quinn Armstrong involved here, the Aussie driver in the number 11. Tough one for Quinn, because he comes into the championship right now 6th place in points. He's been very strong. 5 straight top 10s for Quinn, who, I don't know if you saw this or not on Racer.com, but got a chance to meet Will Power as well when we were at Barber Motorsports Park. He was there coaching some of the USF junior drivers. Thrilled to get a chance to meet his fellow Aussie.
He's a legend, correct?
He is.
Will Power, 70 poles for that young man, and for anybody from down under to be able to be in the presence of Will Power and growing up, having somebody to root for in open wheel racing in America, knowing that someday you want to race there as well, to be able to meet your idol. I think of so many times we've talked about these USF2000, USF Pro 2000 drivers, being able to meet their idols and being there when they're meeting them for the first time. It's always a thrill.
Hey, speaking of meeting your idols, let's go back to Logan. The thing about having Newcastle Motorsports Park, your family's racetrack, you were there. Joseph Newgarden, so many young drivers, Connor Daly as well. You've had a chance to kind of meet and know Joseph. What has he done for you in terms of giving you some insight?
He gives us track walks, and last year at Toronto was actually the first time that happened. I went into the Penske hauler. He went through all of his video and went through a few laps and said, I do this here, I do that there, and he helped me out through there. And then this year at St. Pete, actually, we were driving around on our Tugger. We saw him on his, so my grandpa yelled at him, and he came and joined us and did a few laps with us. So
that's awesome.
It's very nice to have somebody like that.
Yeah, solid connection for you for sure. Again, they're having to try. Looks like they're going to get the 11 of Quinn Armstrong refired potentially, trying to find out where the damage is. Again, a lot of stack up, as we said there, folks. Not sure what it is yet for Quinn. Let's take the opportunity while we have it right now to have a look at the top 5 in points. Max Garcia coming off 3 straight wins, dominated the action at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, won the first round of the triple header at NOLA Motorsports Park, then followed that up with a 3rd and a 4th. So a strong run to start the season for Garcia, although the consistency of Evagor's Papasavas puts him right there, only 16 points back. 5 straight podium finishes for Papasavas, the only driver to be on the podium in all 5 races so far this year. Sam Corey bumping up into 3rd with a solid victory in round number 4, the middle of the triple header at NOLA. Nico Christodoulou, the Canadian, moved himself up as well with a big win in round number 5. He's P4, and Joey Brienza on the strength of a 3rd in the race number 1 at NOLA, plus the pole position, finds himself P5. So very early, Michael, we can look at the points, but as we know, things can shake up. One bad weekend, you get into an incident in race 1, struggle in race 2, it just flips everything upside down.
And you know when you see someone that has a bad weekend, but we're starting to, at this point of the season, getting an idea of who the contenders will be. And I'm so interested to see the start of this race, and Max Garcia in that 5th row, what will he do on the start. I watched him as he came down as we had a no start. He was already would have been the inside wall. He was running alongside there, already potentially eyeing getting a run down into turn number 1. It's going to be fun to watch to see what he does on the start.
I think if there's a track where you could potentially not qualify well, like maybe at the tail of the top 10, this is the place to do it, because by the time you get down into turn number 1, you're 3-4 wide. Guys are diving out. You can make a big move to the inside. Sometimes you come out on top, sometimes you don't, but you can. This is a track where you can obviously get a lot pretty quickly. So one more lap around, I'm being told here, folks. The AMR IndyCar safety crew doing their best to clean up a lot of the damage that happened. There was a number of drivers that were part of that contact. Wings got dropped. Of course, as we know, Quinn Armstrong, we believe, being pushed behind the wall here right now. We'll see whether or not Fakuri was able to get back to pit lane. Number of drivers involved early. Fakuri, Kokai, and Armstrong all involved in that one. And again, as Logan had said, Michael, just a chain reaction happens. People kind of check up coming out there. It looked to me like the front couple of rows, they were lined up really nicely. Nobody was changing their speed, just the guys in the back getting too antsy.
And everybody got packed up real tight there, and all that took was for Curie and to have that quick contact. And you go around, everybody gets upset. You lose a wing. Kokai lost a wing. So everybody back on pit lane, getting prepared. What's interesting about this weekend is how long have these young men been waiting to run this circuit, and you're out before they even see a green flag. So it's clearly frustrating. Obviously, there are more opportunities this race weekend, but to be out before it even starts, it makes for a long weekend.
And listen, like you said, they've been dreaming about this. They want to get to this track, and to be out early is tough. Being told that both Lucas Fakuri and Xavier Kokai, the two drivers that are into pit lane, work being done. I think maybe Kokai back out onto the racetrack now. I believe I saw him blending back in. But indeed, we talk a little bit about how crucial it is to start up front. We are going to still double file restart this one. Some stats brought to me were kind of interesting. Here in USF2000, of the 24 races, 11 of them were won from pole. But again, you got to go back to 2021 for Yuvan Sundaramurthy on the pole there as well. I think I saw another stat I was given as well. Charlie hooked me up with the last 4 races, the pole sitter finished 3rd. So tough to be the pole sitter, right? Because I said, number one, you can get past on the start, and when there's a restart, if you're up front, you know you're a sitting duck. They're going to roll by you. It's just so much of a draft here. You can go from 3rd or 4th and lead in turn number 1 in the restart.
And we've seen leaders make mistakes down into turn number 1, in turn number 7. Getting set for a restart, double file. Going to be interesting to see if we can make it cleanly through, but this first start that we'll see green for the USF2000 drivers making their way out of turn 14 to get this thing underway.
2 laps in the books. Obviously, the lap number 3, we did start the clock when they came back around. Once again, it's an all-exclusive Autosport front row. The rookie Evan Cooley on the inside, Thomas Schrag on the outside. They'll line things up. Better start looking for the green flag from Aaron Likens, and we've got it. We are green, 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 and the move to the outside is Elliot Cox. He's thinking about the outside. Cooley down to the bottom. Right there with him is the number 3 of Chris Dudulu. He's pushing hard. Not a great start for Schrag. He'll drop into P3. Look at that, 4 wide. Here come the brakes. Down into the corner. Cooley on the inside. Thus far, everybody clean and through. I think Chris Dudulu, though, may have got through. He did. Chris Dudulu goes to the P1. Great start for Nico Chris Dudulu from P5. Got the run, as I said. And coming through 3 and 4, always sketchy as they got to get themselves into position. Here's that 5-6 I talked about in the keys of the race. Always tough on the opening circuit. Thus far, everybody clean and green coming through. Michael, solid start here for USF2000.
Elliot Cox, watched him go through turn number 1. Nearly got collected, battling for that 5th position. He fell to 6th, but now in line.
Couple drivers making a move to the bottom here, coming over in. That's contact there. All right, and that is your point leader. That was Garcia who got shot. One of the drivers from Jay Howard Driver Development down the inside, got up over top of the curb. And another one of the D-Force drivers potentially off here as well. Garcia, your point leader. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen in these races. Contact coming into that corner, looped him around. Hopefully we can get a chance to have a look at the replay of that momentarily, but the driver's super aggressive. Here comes the rundown, and watch for this driver all the way to the bottom. You're going to see one of the Jay Howard cars go down deep. He's going to get up on top of the curbing, and at that point you can't control it. Right front into left rear. Logan, you've seen this before, many years of karting. That's just an overtaking move that didn't work. You get up on the curbing and you lose control.
Yeah, very easy to do. Very, very, especially with these sausage curbs, you can definitely lose control of the car in a split second. So just when when two cars are that close and one makes a small mistake, things like that happen.
You're racing here this afternoon. You take anything for yourself from the start there, getting a chance to look at it?
Yeah, most definitely. I'll definitely be ready for the front guys to check up. I will not be making that mistake.
Oh boy, he'll start from the inside of row number 5. And again, Logan Adams from Comet Racing joining us here. Multi-generational racing family, as I said, but drivers finally start settling in. I'd said it was actually Chris Dudulu. The number 3 is Max Taylor. They're very similar cars. 3 is Taylor, 2 is Chris Dudulu. It's actually Max Taylor who has moved his way forward. He needs it because he's 7th place in points coming in. Taylor's biggest top finish of 3rd in race number 3 at NOLA. So a very aggressive Max Taylor goes to the front. Big move to the inside, or the outside really rather, of Evan Cooley on the opening lap, and he is stretching away. This is the gap right now for the number 3 of Max Taylor at Hoboken, New Jersey, also running in USF Juniors this year, a double-duty program, looking to grab that first USF2000 win.
Looking back at that Turn 7 incident, I believe it was Michael Costello who made contact with Max Garcia. Those two kind of came out together, and when they saw the way that they filed back in, it looked like contact with Michael Costello that actually cost Max Garcia to go around.
And again, look at this in the points. As I said, Garcia rolls in here with a 16-point lead, 3 wins on the season, 4 podiums. Now he finds himself back in 19th. The driver he's battling with Evagoras Papasavas, P4. This would tighten the championship in a big way. There's a lock up there to the inside. That is one of the, I think that's Papasavas, I believe. Yeah, it's Papasavas, I think, working his way forward. So again, Taylor leading 1.8 seconds here, 5 laps in, and really just 2 laps at green as well.
And driving very smooth. What's impressive is after the dust up at Turn 7, the field pretty single file and everybody kind of finding their way in this early stage of this race. Obviously, we've got 15 laps in the entire event, so a long way to go, but a little battle here and there, but everybody doing a really good job. We have contact at 7.
Yeah, contact at 7. I'm hoping that might have, I don't know if that was Cooley or not, coming through. Driver has gone around on the outside of turn number 7. I think it's Thomas Schrag. It is. The number 92 is Thomas Schrag. That might have been a battle between himself and Joey Brienza, but Schrag has spun around coming through turn number 7. And Michael, contact like that, depending on how bad it was, if they actually interlocked wheels, that could be rear suspension damage for Thomas Schrag.
I would imagine that's what it is. As he pulls away, he looks like he's okay. I thought the back end kind of stepped out. He's not crab walking, so he looks like he may be okay.
I think they're going to ask him to get that car to pit lane. I think there may be some damage, some potential left rear damage on the car of Thomas Schrag. That was contact coming through there. He was around the corner. Whoever was behind him made contact. It might have been Joey Brienza. So I think we're being told that he stayed out onto the racetrack. They're likely going to throw the black flag here at Thomas Schrag. I think they've identified some kind of damage for Schrag. We'll try to pick him up as he comes across start finish here as well. A number of drivers falling back a little bit here. But indeed, Taylor, Brienza, Papasavas, Christodoulou, and Cooley now the top 5. And he's still on the racetrack in that speed. They give him the black, I believe, so we'll find out what happens here for Thomas Schrag. We'll get a chance to have a look at the replay when we get a chance here, but the gap right now over 2 seconds for Max Taylor up front. Joey Brienza up into second. Everybody moving forward. And indeed, black flag was displayed to Thomas Schrag for the contact there. Not sure why the black came out, whether they thought he had damage or not, but pretty quick coming across the line for us here. This is a good look at your lead. Taylor, Brienza, Papasavas. And he would finish here, Michael. That would be 6 straight podium finishes.
You talked about Max Garcia having the points lead, but anything can happen no matter how good of an advantage you think you have. Something like that, and that incident unfolded with Garcia and Costello.
Max Garcia up on the wheel in a big way. He's already got up to 16th position by Cabrera and Ficuri. So you know that Garcia digging hard to try to work his way forward. He's just right there with Costello and Jamieson. So everybody digging hard right now. There's the 67 of Elliott Cox running in the 6th spot. Right behind him, Sam Corey. Big run for Corey. He'll look to the bottom of the racetrack coming into turn number 1, side by side. Contact there as well. Up over the curbing again. And that is the 67 of Cox. as Corey went to the inside, got up over the curbing. We've seen that twice already now. He gets into him, and he's going to fight for his life right now as he's got Carson Eder, Ayrton Hauk, and Brady Golan right there.
I don't know what Elliot Cox could have done as they got down into turn number 1. As Cooley got into the entrance of the turn, as they made that left-hander into turn number 2, they just ran out of room at the exit of turn number 1. Let's see, here is on the replay.
Locked up the right front, up over the curb again, lost it. Logan Adams, we saw this already one time. It's when you get over the sausage curbing, you just lose control of the car. The front end's going to wash out, correct?
Yeah, it's extremely easy to do. It starts bouncing, and it works its way out there, and you got somebody just as aggressive as you on the outside, and there's not a lot of room to play with.
Yeah, tough one there for Elliot Cox, was holding that position, P6.
And as Corey's coming in, both of them lock it up. So you really have no control of the car. Everybody's locked up. You see nothing but tire smoke at the entrance of turn number 1, but Elliot Cox, the loser out of that.
They always talk about tire dynamics. You can only do so much with 100% of the tire, right? If you're using 100% on braking, you're not using any on steering, right? So it's putting power down, it's acceleration. So if you're fully locked up, you cannot, even if you've got the wheels fully cranked, it's doing nothing but stopping at that point. You have to release. Once you release, often that's when you get the contact. We'll give you a top 10 run restack here as they come back across the line to complete lap number 7, closing in on the halfway point of a 15-lapper here. Max Taylor leads now by 1.6 seconds. Joey Brienza in second. Evagoras Papasavas in third. Aiden Cooley in fourth. Sam Corey, after the contact, now finds himself P5. Nico Christodoulou in 6th. Nicholas Giafoni is now up into the 7th spot. Plus 4 for Giafoni, who started 11th. Ayrton Hauk, who started all the way back at 17th. How about that driver? The number 58 out of McCordsville, Indiana, finds himself up into 8th position. What a great run for Ayrton Hauk. And here's a young driver. We're going to have him actually in the booth this afternoon for the USF Pro 2000 race, Michael. Supremely well-spoken, such a nice young man, was part of the Team USA scholarship program, but another driver who's just trying to scramble the money together to see if he can't continue the season. They're doing everything they can to try to find the money to do this, but a very talented young driver for sure.
We talk about it in every form of motorsports. We talked about Josh Mason trying to make his way through in Indy Next. Sometimes the finances aren't there, and the only way to advance is to win a championship, because money is tight, especially as high as you can get in this open wheel series. The higher you get, the more it costs to run, and hopefully he'll be able to find that funding for down the road, because it's certainly not an easy game to play.
Hearing some insight from race control that there are going to be some 5-second penalties being laid out for incident responsibility. We'll learn more about that. Obviously, that means that the results that we get will be provisional. Here's another little tidbit here as we're watching this battle between Garcia, and I want to say that is potentially Garcia scrapping it here right now with the 18 of Brady Golan, able to get by. So move Garcia back into 10th. What a drive back for Max Garcia, your point leader out of Florida, the Advanced Auto Parts number 24 for Pabst Racing, back up into the top 10. Quite a ways up to Elliot Cox, who still runs in 9th. What a recovery for Garcia, who was, I think, 20th at one point.
Yeah, he fell all the way to the 20th position. But we talk about drivers and that maturity and that maturation level. Take your time, be patient. We've seen it happen time and time again. Somebody in the top 5 gets spun around. They work their way back into the top 10. He could probably still salvage 7th or 8th before this is over.
Any points are better than being all the way back in 18th or 19th, as we had said. Once again, folks, my name is Rob Howden, joined by Michael Young and Logan Adams here in the public address booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the first of 5 races on the docket for the USF Pro Championships, presented by Continental Tire. A doubleheader for USF 2000, triple header for USF Pro 2000. And we're seeing some drivers really on recovery runs, others really having solid drives up front. Here's one for Max Taylor and some more from our stat guys here. They're just nailing it. VRD Racing has won race 1 the last 2 years here. You go back to 2022, and Alex Quinn, who came over, has only ever started USF 2000. He came here and was a winner in the opening race. Of course, Sam Corey won the opening race last year here as well. So VRD looking to try to keep the streak going with 3 straight opening race wins here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And it's a 1.7-second lead for Taylor. Here's a big move to the inside. That's Carson Eder trying to find a way by the number 8, and he gets cleanly through and doesn't make a mistake. That's Tanner DeFavis in front of them. Michael Costello right there as well. So, again, Costello and Eder battling it out right now for 13th position. I think Costello had maybe gotten by, and Eder was looking to go back down to the inside of turn number 1. Because we know Costello, of course, was involved in the incident earlier. He may have a penalty waiting for him as well for the contact that he had earlier on with Max Garcia. Still unsure about potential contact between Thomas Schrag, and it might have been Joey Brienza's teammate.
It'll be interesting how those penalties play out when this thing is over. But up front, Max Taylor, his lead almost 2 seconds, 1.7, as this time when they come to the start-finish line, they will have 4 to go. Race number 1 for the USF2000 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Max Taylor trying to get that first big victory. He's got one in USF Juniors competition, but anytime you can get a little bit further up in the order and grab another one, you know that you are going to be you know you're going to be on the way forward. You want to get those wins as you keep going up. Consistency is great, but for a driver here like Max Taylor, you want to get the win. Like the battle right now here for P3, Papasavas, Evan Cooley, who started on pole, not giving up, and they're side by side through turn number 1. Cooley tried the outside. Papasavas still had the inside. Look at this scrap. This is for P3. It's Papasavas trying to go 6 straight podiums, and the rookie Cooley trying to start things off here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a podium. He is on the gearbox coming out of 5 and 6.
That all started at the exit of 14. Cooley was there, and Papasavas saw him. Cooley drop low. They'll battle down into turn number 7 side by side.
Here they come. Papasavas trying to hold the inside blocks down to the bottom. Cooley going to try the over-under. Oh, how about side by side through 8? Cooley gets a little wide to the exit, but he's going to throw it to the inside of 9. We'll lose him for a second. Will they get cleanly through? We're going to have to wait all the way over here to turn number 12. Taylor, Brienza. Who's the first to come out here? It's still Papasavas. Cooley ducks high. I like this battle right now. You know who's loving it? Sam Corey, the 23. He says, guys, keep fighting because I'm coming on strong. I do like this as well. 4 different teams in the top 5. Taylor for VRD, Brienza and Cooley for exclusive, Papasavas for Jay Howard, and Corey for VRD Racing.
Cooley got Papasavas, did it at the entrance of turn number 12, got around. Nice move by Cooley.
So this guy's a rookie. Let's put it that way. He runs in the USF Juniors program right now, qualifies on pole, and is now eyeing up a potential podium finish for exclusive Autosport. That would be 2nd and 3rd for the exclusive crew. I'm sure they would love to have seen Thomas Schrag up there as well. He's trying to keep digging. He's about, I think he may be a lap back. He may not be, actually. He continues to dig. But nonetheless, Taylor up front by 2.3 seconds. Again, the battle for 3rd is going to give Brienza a little bit of breathing room as well.
Well, we watch Papasavas, and we talk about this all the time. He's locked him up several times and probably has flat spotted that tire. And once you flat spot that tire, it's hard to get that to go away.
So look at that battle we saw coming through 5 and 6. That is Giafoni, Christodoulou, Hauk, Cox, and I think Garcia's in there as well. Oh, yeah, we're going at it up front. You see the white, blue, and red livery. That's the scholarship colors of last year's USF Juniors champion, Nicholas Giafoni. And again, oh, there's some trouble there. That might be Hauk. I think Hauk had some trouble. He's trying to get back on, and they're going to extreme on by. Ayrton Hauk had some trouble, had a tank slapper coming out at turn number 8. He's going to drop a couple of spots, and that is going to allow, I believe, Golan, DeFabis, and I think maybe even Costello to get by. So a little bit of an issue there for Ayrton Hauk from P8. Nonetheless, a great drive. We'll see if he can't work his way forward. Laps winding down in this one. 2 laps to go when they come back around. Lap 13 in the books, a 2.9 second lead for Max Taylor, looking to give VRD its 3rd straight opening race win of the doubleheader here in Indianapolis. Here comes Giafoni, though. He wants to get to 6th. He's going to the outside. Christodoulou going to block to the inside. Further battle back between Cox and Garcia. Why not? And I think Garcia has the spot on Cox. Go Garcia in 8th, Cox 9th, Brady Golan up into 10th. Brady started back in 19th, plus 9 for Brady Golan.
And for poor Hauk, that's a byproduct of that 5 cars racing in that tight quarters. How many times we talked? 7, 8, 9. There's not a lot of room there, and Hauk was the big loser as either he had contact with someone else or just lost it exiting turn number 7 going into turn number 8.
I feel like coming through 8, he may try to get up in the curbing or something. There's contact again. There's Giafoni together. That is an issue with Giafoni, and I don't know if that was Garcia. Might have been Christodoulou. A couple drivers together coming into the braking zone at turn number 7. So we have had some chaos here at USF 2000. White flag will fly this next time by for Max Taylor. 2 drivers involved over there. One of them being the number 1 of Giafoni. Not quite sure who it was exactly, but here comes Taylor. Cross the yard of bricks for one more lap around. Will Taylor get his first USF 2000 victory? He's digging in right now in a big way. 3.6 seconds. Taylor, Brienza, and how about Evan Cooley? Number 3 looking good here for Max Taylor. Digging through turn number 2, over to 3. Just got to hit your marks with that kind of a lead. You guarantee they'll be on the radio. Logan, they're going to be on the radio kind of walking him through this last lap, right?
Oh, yeah, telling him to don't celebrate too early, keep it calm. There's still about a mile left to track, so.
Christodoulou is the other car involved with the contact with Giafoni.
Tough one there, as we said. So Christodoulou, another driver coming in 4th place in points. He and Giafoni get together coming into the braking zone of turn number 7. Looks like Giafoni was kind of hanging out to the outside and contact coming in. So both those drivers involved. Tough one for both Christodoulou and Giafoni. But this is the final circuit right now. Max Taylor could become the 10th U.S. driver to win at IMS here in this program. And once again, you're loving this, aren't you, Charlie? Literally, if Evan Cooley finishes 3rd, the pole sitter 5 straight races. 5 straight, I think. 5 straight races, the pole sitter is going to finish 3rd. You do not want to qualify on pole here in Indianapolis right now.
You're guaranteed a podium, but you'll come home 3rd.
There's the checker flags, folks. Twin checkers are out, and look at the excitement for Max Taylor. He has won at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and called a 4.042 second win for him. Big win for the New Jersey driver in the 3rd straight opening race, doubleheader win for VRD. Huge run as well for Exclusive Autosport. They'll cap off the podium. Joey Brienza in 2nd in the number 91, and Evan Cooley, the rookie, so super impressive. Qualified on pole, finished 3rd, almost predestined for him to finish P3. Evagoras Papasavas just on the outside of another podium finish, would have been his 6th straight, but with Garcia down in 6th. Garcia came from 20th to P6. That is a recovery. Maybe the recovery of the race.
I thought 7th or 8th, but with all those dust-ups from 6th to 10th, he was able to take advantage of it, played his patience game to finish 6th for Max Garcia. I would consider that a win.
100%. Listen, when you have an incident like that and you're backwards in the grass in turn number 7, you figure you're done. And he came back up there without a full course yellow either. I think that's the key thing. He literally drove himself back up. Now, granted, he had some luck, as you said. Christodoulou getting together with Giafoni, Schrag, some drivers who fell back to the tail of the field. But all in all, just a tremendous drive. Sam Corey ending up in 5th, but Max Garcia from deep in the field up to 6th. Elliott Cox holding on to 7th, so a top 10 still. Brady Golan 19th to 8th, plus 11 for the Texan. Michael Costello coming back to 9th, and Tanner DeFavis, Indiana driver, able to hold on to the top 10. We will have a look at the results here right now. Unofficially, remember, I talked about the fact that on the radio I'm hearing all this stuff about potential 5-second penalties. So these are provisional results. Unofficial for sure. Max Taylor, though, with the win. I don't think any issues for Max. He was able to get around Evan Cooley and pull away. So the Hoboken, New Jersey driver will celebrate win number 1 in USF2000 and the number 3 for VRD Racing. Joey Brienza and Evan Cooley, the 2 drivers for Exclusive Autosport, in 2nd and 3rd. That's your podium. Evagoras Papasavas, I was going to say that he may take over the point lead, but with Garcia in 6th, I don't think that's going to happen. It'll tighten that point lead for Garcia, but not quite enough. 7th, Elliott Cox. Golan 8th. Costello 9th, and DeFavis in 10th, as I had said. Ayrton Hauk, who was 8th at one point, ends up coming back home for 11th. He and his DC Autosport teammate finishing 11th and 12th, all told with a 22-car field. Solid run for both Ayrton Hauk and the Californian Carson Etter. But out of the car is Max Taylor, and he will be thrilled with that one. Taylor getting the victory that he was looking for. Big for him. He needed it for sure. Max Taylor, 7th place in points coming in, and it's just got better and better on the season, Michael. DNF in the opening round. Here he is, running to the team. Dan Mitchell right there, the whole crew fired up for Taylor. DNF in race 1, 15th in race 2, 5th in race 3 and 4, 3rd, 1st. That's momentum, and that's going in the right direction.
And wins, as you always say, breed wins, and he's on that success. He's taken the stumbles in the first part of the season, and he's becoming very successful, and these wins will breed more wins. And for Max Taylor, that was a strong outing today to win in the dominant fashion he did.
100%. We talk a lot about opening the floodgates once you've got that first victory, especially here in USF 2000. Let's wrap things up here with Logan Adams. Logan, you're going racing as well. We said you were able to take away a little bit from the start watching. Great to have you in in the booth and give me your thoughts on that race overall.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Rob. It was a blast. That was very entertaining to watch from up here. That's the first time I've been in this situation. So it was a lot of action. So it was very entertaining.
A lot of friends and family here this weekend.
Yeah, a ton. We've actually got the biggest turnout at the tent we've had so far this year. So glad to have everybody here supporting me, and excited to see what I can do in race 1.
All the best this afternoon. Logan Adams, folks from Comet Racing, going to join us on the racetrack here as USF Pro 2000 coming back on this afternoon. But again, this is the driver who is going to hoist the big trophy here, Max Taylor, his first win in USF 2000 competition. And I'll tell you, that's a big one. Again, 3 straight opening wins for VRD Racing as well. They got some really quick hot rods here this year for sure. Max Taylor, and we know Nikita Johnson's going to be trying to go for a race win as well in USF Pro 2000 this afternoon. But again, Taylor, Brienza, and Cooley, the drivers who will join us here up on the podium. We'll fire that up here momentarily. And of course, as we know, later on this afternoon, as I had said, we'll be going back at it once again with USF Pro 2000. Michael, I think around 3 o'clock start for that one. We get to see the drivers. Logan and I were looking. It's interesting. Every step up, but 4 seconds faster. 4 seconds faster, 4 seconds faster. Logan just told me USF Pro 2000 are topping 152 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway.
That's something. That's getting it done.
Yeah, it's definitely quick. It feels like it too. So going into that braking zone.
Tell your grandfather we say hello.
Yes, sir, will do. Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, we are bringing our drivers up here into the victory podium here. We will go to a quick break. When we get back, time to introduce the top 3 in USF 2000.
Race fans, make your way down to the
Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Over the years, we've chased down a lot of dreams, each one leading to the next, all the way to our most electrifying dream yet. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue. Made to inspire the newest generation of dreamers so they can make their dreams reality. The all-new, all-electric Prologue from Honda.
It's a fresh start. My career's on the line. It's a great chapter. I think everybody's goal is to win my life.
All this year is playing together, making a good championship season out of it.
It's the reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder.
All those champions and wanting to become part of that
The
list.
drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship is incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm gonna rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me.
When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever. The field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
Because Brian saved 5 lives and started a movement.
Because Lester is a hero as a veteran and an organ donor.
Because Allie's legacy lives on. because I know how quickly it can be taken away.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Over the years, we've chased down a lot of dreams, each one leading to the next, all the way to our most electrifying dream yet. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue. Made to inspire the newest generation of dreamers so they can make their dream.
You had to get aggressive. You made a move to the outside. Tell me about the attack at the start.
Yeah, I mean, I knew my plan was to get to the lead as fast as I can, and I did just that. I got to the lead, had a little battle with Evan, and I just checked out and put some good laps in, and the VRD car just drove itself, really. I put cruise control on and just left.
There's nothing like clean air at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing feeling to do this here. I couldn't have dreamt it any different.
Who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank all of VRD, Dan Mitchell, Jacob Loomis, all the guys who make it happen. They put a rocket ship of a car and a program together. I want to thank all my sponsors, and of course my parents for coming out here, and my sister as well.
Get on top of this podium. We got a trophy for you. Max Taylor, folks, a huge victory today in USF2000. Again, a number of our USF junior drivers kind of stepping up to make things happen. We had rookies here as well, but Taylor, very impressive. Attacked at the start and comes away with the victory. Put it on cruise control once he had clean air. Everybody else battling in behind him. All in all, a tremendous drive. And again, as I said, 3 straight opening race wins for VRD. Alex Quinn in 2022, Sam Corey last year, and now Max Taylor starting things off with VRD again here. There's your podium. Tremendous drive for these young drivers. They'll be back at it again tomorrow morning for race number 2. I got a chance to go and debrief a little bit, dial things in, and see if they can't get just a little bit better for tomorrow. But again, 63 degrees here right now. I'm expecting probably 50 to 52 degrees tomorrow morning. The cool factor may make things a little interesting to see who has the right setup on the cars. But nonetheless, again, big championship implications as well for Evagoras Papasavas coming in 4th spot. Max Garcia in 6th. The championship tightening up, and big victory here for Taylor, working his way forward as well. He's going to jump up in the championship fight. Here comes the champagne, the sparkling cider for the drivers here in USF2000. 5 races on the docket, as I said. 1 down, 4 to go. And guys, drop those trophies. Grab that champagne. Evan, drop it down, guys. Grip it and rip it. Let's have some fun here. A little spray, little got to get out of that one. Good opportunity to have some fun here for the drivers in the category. So champagne, sparkling cider flying. Fantastic run to keep things underway. Talented drivers here in USF2000. Folks, that wraps things up for the broadcast. Come back and join us on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel this afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern start time. The first of 3 races for USF Pro 2000. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
Thanks, Joe.